Welcome, guys. Welcome back to Vigor Warriors 2 and the 1% Club. I am happy to be with you and giving you information that I can on any kind of ideas to make you more successful, happier with things that you're doing. And I want to kind of focus today on a good question from our man E-trillionaire. And let's talk about this being closer to God with retention. And so before we do that, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and donate if you feel the urge to do that. I'm happy to accept donations and to try to continue to grow. I'm looking to get at least 500 subscribers, and I'm looking to kind of move ahead to see if we can try to kind of build our army of Vigor Warriors and see if we can try to get more than 1% and move it up to 2-3% and before the end of the year. All right, so anyway, let's go ahead and look at E-trillionaire's question he had. Was talking about, can retention kind of move you closer to God? So this is the purpose that I kind of started a lot of this with. I didn't really realize a lot of this when I was younger. I guess when I was in my 30s and I found the Fountain of Youth book, I felt like, okay, it was great to do the exercises because I wanted to stay younger. And I did have a pretty strong spiritual belief in God at the time. But I never really thought about the idea that it could bring you closer to God. And once I was doing the exercises, I kind of looked about what the Tibet monks were doing. And this is what they would do in the Fountain of Youth exercises. And until I really kind of looked at that number 6 closely, I didn't really connect a lot of this stuff together, and I kept doing the exercises for a lot of years, and they were beneficial. I felt better. I felt more flexible, more relaxed, and like I said, I didn't have any kind of major illnesses or anything like that, and all it's been good. So that was good, and the book had said that even. The book said that would happen. But to have superhuman strength, to kind of move to another level, you have to do right number 6, and right number 6 basically was not having sex, celibacy, brahmacharya, those type of things in which you're keeping your energy inside of you, of course, unless you're going to release. That is hard for 7 out of 10 people who really don't believe that they want to do that, and they're going to have to commit their life to that. However, I think as people get older, they may realize, okay, this is my time to get to that point. Now, how does it affect your relationship with God? So as I started on this 550-day streak that I'm on right now, and the 35-day of monk mode, it's 510 and 35 days of monk mode. I have realized that you end up kind of having a lot more inner types of thoughts, and my meditation is a lot better as I'm going along. I'm actually getting a lot of messages, I believe, from the voice within me. And I always go back to the study I did of Malcolm X, who went 12 years and basically went a long time to go ahead and listen to the Lord and to his God. And I remember Jesus and Moses, a lot of the prophets, all the apostles, they did a lot of, I believe, this themselves. And I'm not just kind of reading into it, but I'm guessing that a lot of their prayer and meditation brought them to the Lord. And obviously, they're not going to kind of waste their energies doing this to stop that communication. So let's kind of look at the communication you have with the Lord. And I'll talk about this in a sense. I saw this when I started fasting. When I started fasting, I realized that when you have food in your system, it's very difficult to have any communication between yourself and that voice inside of you, which is the Lord, and the way I'm kind of putting it together. So as a result of that, inside of you, you need to be clean. And part of being clean is not having a lot of food in your system. Because your food is digesting, I think it's very much more difficult to listen to those things. And so that's why prayer and fasting are very, very important. Now, when it comes to retention, you're also becoming pure and clean. I believe that by not releasing, keeping that inside of you, allowing your energies to flow, and I guess it's the way through all the chakras we were talking about. Those type of things then allow you to become your true self. As a result of that, you're now focusing on more internal, spiritual types of things than focusing on women and porn and all this other kind of stuff outside of that. So as you look at this type of thing, it's very important to kind of look at the idea that as you retain, you are getting pure. You're getting into more of your real essence. You're not destroying your essence, okay? And if you're keeping your essence, it would make sense to me that the Lord who created your essence, who gave your essence, would now be able to relate to you a lot more. Now, let's put it in this sense. Your energy is very much like water. You may or may not realize this, but most of your body is made of water. And so your water can connect with you, and that's why you should be drinking a lot of water, because your body is made of water, and that's consistent. It matches itself. And as a result of that, you feel wonderful after drinking a lot of water, okay? You feel cleaned out. You feel pure. And this is what happens with retention. I'm finding after 510 days that I am becoming a lot more pure. So I'm kind of becoming more of who I am and myself. And as a result of that, then I feel like my ability to listen to God is a lot stronger. And so as I meditate and pray at night, I feel I'm in more tune with what God wants and what I'm praying for and asking to God for. And so as I'm kind of doing that, the retention part is not something that distracts me. Guys, it always goes back to focus. You're focusing on that relationship you have with the Lord. And to become that strong, you have to eliminate all kinds of distractions around you. It's almost like if I put a piece of black dot on a board and I say, look at that dot. Now, during the period of time, you may do that for 3 or 4 seconds, but because of distractions, you may lose your sight of that. And I say, go back to that dot, okay? By the way, this is a very good exercise in meditation and being able to concentrate. But the idea is that you want to then go back and look at that dot again and keep focusing on that dot. The same thing with your relationship with talking to the Lord. If you're sitting and talking to your Lord, you don't want distractions, and that's why you find a quiet room to go ahead and meditate and pray, and you don't have anything to eat after a certain period of time at night, so your stomach is empty. You're not thinking about impure type of thoughts. You're just very clear and pure. And so that's why I believe you can become closer. And so a great question from E-trillionaire, and I think the key, guys, is that you want to become as much in the pure state as you can be. That means you're not going to be polluted with a lot of foods that have all kinds of preservatives and all kinds of other things in you. You don't want to have a lot of lost energy and all kinds of negative thoughts and ideas. Those should all be eliminated. Take out the waste, get those things out of there. And because of that, then you then become more susceptible to listening to your inner voice, which I believe God is talking to you through your inner voice. And therefore, you're able to be closer to God. And this is what I think Malcolm X was talking about, as he was talking about after 12 years, you're going to be able to reach and have, really be very close to the Lord. And so that's what I'm shooting for. So the reason I kind of started the retention, as you get older, you realize you don't have as many years to live, and I did not want to lose this opportunity. So maybe that was the impetus to actually start the streak and kind of really figure out what the heck I was doing wrong for all those years. And so now that I understand this, and now that I understand how important it is, there's really going to be very little chance, unless something just hits me or I'm caught, that I'm going to go ahead and release. And so I'm going to try to shoot for 12 years. We're going to see how far this goes, but hopefully the more I do this, the closer I get to the Lord, and that's my final goal. Because a lot of these things in this world, guys, I'm 60, so I've done a lot of things. I've gotten made money, lost money. My kids are older now, and all these things. Had a grandchild, so I'm not in the same state as some of you younger guys are. So some of you young guys, don't totally listen to what I'm saying, because you have a lot of things you want to achieve. But I'm at the point where my major thing is trying to reach the Lord and get to the Lord as much as I can, and spending time, because that's what's more important to me. The material world types of things are not that important to me. So, all right. So, hope this helps. Thank you again, E-trillionaire. Great question. And until next time, guys, battle on.